Okay, hi there. Welcome to Economic Observations. My name is Chris. It is Friday, the 19th of February. Let's get to it. I missed you guys. Thank you so much for watching. If you appreciate the work that I do putting into this video, I would appreciate it if you gave a big thumbs up. I, over the past week, had the privilege, or the disappointment, I don't know, of driving around to various malls and seeing what is really left of them, because we know that the mall is a dinosaur. It is a thing of the past. Article here says 25% of malls are expected to shutter within 5 years. It says America's roughly 1,000 malls will close over the next 3 to 5 years. In the state of Massachusetts, we have seen a number of malls not only close, but what happens to those malls after they close? How are they repurposed, and are they repurposed? You have to think of the thousands of jobs that are lost in every shopping mall. You have to think of the millions of dollars of revenue that are lost with every store and mall closing. It says just because retail space has gone vacant or remained fallow does not mean that is automatically a good candidate for repurposing into industrial space. So folks, as you can see in this video, what happens to the mall is it goes into demolition, right? So when it's, as mall owners know, and you can ask Simon Property, even if you have few tenants left within your mall, it's very costly to operate, right? The taxes on the building alone, the heat, the electric, the water, the sewer, everything that's connected to it is very costly, and it makes it inoperable or prohibitive to even own. So what a lot of these landlords decide to do is they decide to knock them down. And then hopefully, if when they own the land, they can sell it or repurpose it for something else. This mall in Taunton that I went to, it was being demolished. It's probably being demolished even as I talk. It started on Saturday, and they started knocking down the back half of it. And I talked to someone right outside the gate, because it was all closed off and you couldn't get very close to it. And I asked him what's going to become of the property, because I thought maybe apartments would go there. This mall had 2,000 jobs and was responsible for giving $2 million in revenue to the town of Taunton every year in its heyday, right? It was full. It had 90 stores and 7 anchor stores. So the anchor stores were Sears, Filene's, Lechmere, Bradley's, J.C. Penney was always in there, and it opened in 1992, so it's not that old. It's only 29 years old. But malls have been declining for a long time. I think J.C. Penney closed in like J.C. Penney closed in 2014 maybe. Macy's closed in 2016 after someone drove their car through a Macy's entrance and stabbed someone, killing them in the store, and it never quite reopened. It was kind of like a plague that laid on this mall. During its heyday, it was a beautiful mall. I remember going to that J.C. Penney with 3 little kids in a double stroller and buying kids' clothes at Gymboree or Oshkosh or even J.C. Penney. So, what was is no more, and it's really sad. And you think of all the jobs lost and all the revenue and all the memories that get shuttered with a dead mall. And there's quite a few dead malls, right? And there's a lot of people that start these, little restaurants and trying to make a go of it, only to fail and lose millions of dollars as well. So the economy has been in trouble for quite some time. This is not new due to the pandemic. But I just thought I would share of some things that once were, some things that still are, but how much longer will they be? And see of what's becoming of some of the dead malls in Massachusetts. Right? These malls that I'm showing are not far apart from one another. It just goes to show that the discretionary money people have is getting reduced annually. Every year, people have less and less and less. But look at this. This is the Silva Galleria Mall today. It is being torn down too. JCPenney's is gone. That was once a Dick's Sporting Goods. You can see that that was there. Sears, Filene's, whatever it may be, all gone. Right? Leachmere's closed a long time ago. Bradley's closed a long time ago. Macy's, it's just a sign of the times. What are they being replaced with? Who knows? Even Walmart had lower earnings. So I read this article and I realized that, hey, Sears in Brockton, that's not far from where I am, is closing. Let me go check it out and see what it's like. I tell you, I drive by that store every now and then, and the parking lot is always a ghost town. So I decided that yesterday I would go in before it shutters its doors forever. And as you can see, it is still fairly stocked. It's part of the Westgate Mall in Brockton. Westgate Mall has been there since 1963, I believe. Sears was never part of that mall until the 1990s when it moved from Route 123 into this space. This space was, it was Bradley's. Bradley's was in this area. Wow, that goes back a long time. Anyway, as you can see, there's nobody in Sears, even with things marked down to 40%. It's empty. And it's no doubt that they have to close their doors. Inventory was fairly low throughout the store. There wasn't a lot of things available on the shelves, so it was only hit or miss. I went to Lowe's next door because I had to order something. And look at this. A store with millions of dollars of inventory. Nobody there. I tell you, what's going on? People aren't buying anything. They're not fixing their houses. They're not getting dressed up. They're not painting. They're not buying new carpet. Back in the day, there were carpet stores. Remember that? There were all sorts of stores for every little thing. Now, one major store that sells it all has nobody in it. 7 miles away in Walpole, another dead mall. That used to be an old country buffet over there. There was a Kohl's and an Old Navy. Office Max is closed. That used to be there. There was a Barnes and Noble. Was all different kinds of stores. And now you go in, Payless Shoes has gone under. They were a staple in every mall across the country. And if Payless Shoes couldn't survive, what else can survive? In this mall, I saw a dentist and a nail salon and a Threads, whatever Threads is. Right? The baby boomers are done. Now they want to protect their wealth, whatever they have. This new generation doesn't think like them, right? They don't shop in malls. They don't shop generally at all. They want to invest it in the market and try to beat inflation, which we know is much higher than the government says it is. Right? The consumer price index, the CPI, they're saying is 1.3%, and we all know it is much, much higher than that. They say the GDP, the unemployment rate, whatever it is, their numbers are bogus, and we cannot believe them. Unemployment yesterday, 861,000 people. Are they from places like this along the retail sector of the whole country? I mean, look at that Lowe's. I had to order some flooring for my studio build. and I was just short like 2 panels, but I had to order a whole box. I waited 20 minutes to find an associate to help me. Those jobs are going too. I mean, look at these stores, look at these places. How can they afford to hire people? These jobs are not coming back, folks. And these jobs in the hotels and the restaurants and the travel industry, they're not coming back either. John Hancock, big insurance company, but they're also an investment advisor. They announced that they were laying off 150 people on Tuesday. John Hancock, they sponsor the marathon. And now they're handing off the responsibility of managing the marathon to the BAA, which is the Boston Athletic Association. So they let all their people go that were associated with anything to do with the marathon. And of course it's postponed for this April, rescheduled for October, and we'll see if it takes place. In the meantime, Texas is a disaster. Be prepared. When I tell people to be prepared, I not only mean have assets and money and gold and silver and, diversified portfolio to live on, right? Because you need diversity. You need some stocks, and you need some Bitcoin, and you need some gold and silver, and you need cash, and you need diversity. I'm also talking about water. Have water. Gallons and gallons of water at home. Have a propane heater. Have the propane tank in your garage and a heater ready to go if you need it. Have some solar panels or a generator, and if you have that generator, make sure you have gas to run it. Those people in Texas, it is so sad to see what's going on. It is the power central of the United States of America, and for this to happen, it's a wake-up call for the rest of us, because it can happen to any one of us. It can happen anywhere. It's not that expensive to buy a propane heater in May. Have some solar, have some battery power, batteries loaded up. Just be prepared. All right, folks. The world is still tilting upside down. You can't believe any of the numbers that you hear from the government. You just have to multiply them by about 5 to get to know what the truth really is. We know unemployment is about 40 million people. What's going to happen when all these moratoriums on unemployment expire? There's no jobs at the retail stores. The malls are being knocked down. I talked to the guy there, and he told me that that one mall that sits on 1,000 acres of land, he said, whatever it's going to be, what brings in the most amount of revenue to it. So the city is looking at it from an economic impact only. Anyway, tough times. It's going to be tough for towns and cities that are losing these businesses. It's going to be tough for the workers. It's going to be tough for the landlords. Anyway, folks, the economy has been dead long before COVID hit, and it is just an excuse. COVID is just an excuse. I mean, yeah, COVID put the nail in the coffin for restaurants and hotels. Some economists think, or just general public think, that as soon as everyone is vaccinated, that everything is going to go booming again. They think that it's just going to soar. Pent-up demand from everybody being at home all this time. I don't think it's going to soar. What are we in for? What is left of our economy? What, government handouts? People walking around with a light dim inside of them because they're not being used to their full potential? They don't sleep at night knowing that they didn't get anything accomplished because there's nothing for them to do? What is going to be left of the economy? I just went into my local True Value. I asked the woman, how's business? She said, it's dead. I said, gone are the days of April and May. She said, yeah, gone are those days. People went back to work. I don't know. Wait and see until the entertainment industry goes on. But you saw those videos of that bowling alley and the arcade and the pool table a year before COVID hit. This wasn't COVID. It's just an excuse. But Bitcoin, $56,000 today. Stock market closed flat. Everything is so high. I am so afraid to invest anything more than I have. It is unprecedented. Interest rates at the bank are 0. So of course people are putting their money into altcoins because maybe they can get a little bit more return. Anyway, folks, thank you so much for watching. Hang on tight. Go buy a gallon of water this week. Go buy another gallon next week. I'll talk to you real soon. Have a great day. Hit the like button and subscribe if you can. All right, thanks, folks.